Hello, Pokemon trainers. Welcome to the King's Court. Okay. Dang. Okay. Apparently, well, not apparently, it's already been confirmed that Regulation Set Age is going to be ending in a couple of days from the recording of this video. Sad. I'm not going to lie, I actually really like Set Age. I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand, obviously, gotta move on, that sort of thing. New Pokemon games eventually on the horizon. I'm still waiting on information on the new game, but I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy this format. So, this is basically gonna be the last time I'm gonna use this team. In our most latest video, I used like a Indene Sneasler Psychic Terrain team. I thought, you know what, we're gonna be basically the season's gonna restart online on ranked matches. So I'm like, you know what, fuck it, why not? I'm gonna go back and use the team that I enjoyed the most during regulation set age. This is the team where I use. This is the Ursaluna, Porygon 2, Jumpluff, Incineroar, Torkoal, and Charizard team. This is definitely my favorite team. This entire regulation set. I really enjoy this team. It's a lot of fun. So that's pretty much the entire thing. I'm gonna is also really quick. Okay, whenever I record these battles, I just basically just turn on record and I start just playing online. Try to and I basically try to pick from amongst a bunch of battles that I record and choose like which ones I think are like the most entertaining. Usually I don't upload whenever there's like whenever my opponent, because it does happen where my opponent rages and just turns it off and that sort of thing. Usually I don't upload those, but for some weird reason that kept happening a lot this week when I sat down to record some battles. But I thought, you know what, fuck it, why not? The season's gonna be ending, so might as well go off with a bang. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what was your favorite team to use this format. There was so many different teams. There was like the Rain team that used Pelipper and Archulodon. There were so many good ones. There was the Primeape. No, not Primeape. Annihilate. Mousehold team. There was like a lot of good ones. So, and like I said, this is definitely my favorite one that I used online. I've done like shoot, I think 5 different videos or something with this team. So if you enjoy this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and the next video one should be the first one of the new regulation sets. We're gonna be seeing a lot of Urshifu. So that's pretty much the ending. And now back to the game. So my Incineroar terrestrialized into Ghost. Now I terrestrialized my Incineroar because they have a Primarina on field as well as a Dragonite. Now I did not want my Incineroar to get knocked out by like any water moves, or I do know a lot of Dragonites these days run like Stomping Tantrum. I wanted to avoid that, so that's why I went and just terrestrialized into Ghost, and it's works out. Terrestrialized Ghost Incineroar is still really good. It's still golden. So basically, just waiting for my opponent right here and thinking to myself, okay, what could be my next move? Basically, I actually like Shiny Primarina. My opponent terrestrialized our Dragonite to get rid of the Dragon weakness. Makes sense. I guess because most people already know Porygon 2's. The standard set is usually Recover, Ice Beam, Terra Blast, and obviously Trick Room. So I'm just gonna hit with the Ice Beam. Good thing they did, like I said, Terrestrialize, because that probably would have knocked it out. Or if not, the knockoff from my Incineroar would have knocked him out. So they're gonna go with Haze to eliminate stat conditions. Okay, cool. So I'm basically thinking to myself, okay, what could I do next? I was thinking Primarinas usually run that, what's it called, the throat spray. So I wanted to avoid like any hyper voice or stuff like that. So I was thinking maybe I could just knock off on Primarina. It won't do a lot because it's fairy, but it will do something. Is basically what I was thinking to myself. So let's see. Incineroar looks so cool with that. Ghost is my favorite type, and so it's really cool seeing that little ghost on top. So they're gonna go for the E-Speed. Makes sense. They're gonna go for my Porygon too. I'm gonna go for the Ice Beam. That will finish off the Dragonite. Sweet. Okay. And now it's just the Primarina left. And I'm gonna go with the Parting Shot. I went with the Parting Shot because I was thinking, you know what? If I could just like basically bring down its special attack, it shouldn't really be able to knock out any of my Pokemon, especially with the sun out. So water moves won't be nearly as strong. So I was like, I can just go out into Torkoal and set up the Trick Room and just pretty much just go from there. Because I didn't want to take the chance of losing Ursaluna yet. Because one thing I've been enjoying to do lately is when I weather down my opponent's Pokemon, like they're super close to being knocked out. And this is what I mean, a communication error. Yeah. Usually this doesn't happen, but for some reason this has happened. I guess a lot of people are getting mad. So really quick, usually I cut out these in-between scenes, like, between the menus and all that, like where you select your Pokemon or you get to see a sneak peek of your opponents. Because I figure, that's more like interesting to see. But I did show this part right here because I wanted to show that I got them. So it was on my opponent's side that the communication was lost. So I guess they just turned off their game or something. So hey, we count those, right? So that's one. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for clicking on this video. And if you're a returning viewer, hi, how you doing? I do a best 3 out of 5. Basically, I try to win 3 games, but if I lose 3 games, better luck next time. So, I'm going to count that first one as a win because I'm pretty sure I would have gotten it still, but hey, you know what they say about assuming, right? So, they're going with the Sandrush team. I haven't seen one of these in a long time. It's really cool. So, I'm going to terrestrialize my Incineroar again. Mainly because I know both of these Pokemon like to run Rock Slide, Earthquake, stuff like that. So I wanted to avoid my Incineroar getting knocked out just yet. So I'm going to go with the Fake Out and the T-Tar. And Rock Slide right... Yeah, I knew it. Luckily, thanks to the Intimidate and Terrestrializing, my Incineroar is good. And I'm just going to set up Trick Room. So that's good for me. But I am going to get hit by the Sandstorm. Okay, so the Trick Room is set up, so my Pokemon should be hitting first. So I'm thinking to myself, I could just Flare Blitz into the Escadrille. And I was thinking to myself, I could switch out my Porygon to throw out Torkoal just to get rid of the sand because the sand's going to get annoying. So yeah, I'm going to switch out, go into Torkoal, and now Drought will kick in. And they're going to withdraw the Tyranitar. Makes sense. And they're going to go into Corviknight. I haven't seen Corviknight in a while. So, I'm going to go, like I said, Flare Blitz on the Escadrille. I should have expected a Focus Sash. I was thinking it's either running Focus Sash or it's running Life Orb. It's basically 50-50. So I'm going to take a good amount of recoil, and they're going to go with the Earthquake. Alright, cool. Thank goodness for Intimidate. And the Citrus Berry is going to kick in. Alright, sweet. So now, basically, we're both in an interesting position. I could just try to knock out the Escadrille. And I guess just go for the Eruption on the Corviknight. So they're going to withdraw the Corviknight. Makes sense. And they're going to go into Tyranitar again. I should have expected that. So they're going to withdraw their Escadrille as well. And they're going to go into their own Incineroar. And Intimidate's going to kick off. It won't affect Torkoal, but on my Incineroar, dang. So I'm going to go for the Eruption. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to do a lot. And the knockoff on the Tyranitar. And the Weakness Policy. Yeah. Dang. It's really cool seeing a sand team. Lately, it's been mostly like rain and sun teams, so it's really cool seeing a sand one. I haven't seen one in a while. So I'm thinking I could just switch out because I don't want to lose Incineroar yet. Especially since it's Intimidate, it's probably going to come up again later. So I'm just going to switch out Incineroar and go into my Porygon. Because I'm thinking to myself, okay, Porygon, Incineroar usually don't run fighting moves. Neither do T-Tar. So I was thinking maybe it could. Sometimes T-Tar could run like low sweep or something, but I wasn't expecting that for them to use that on my Porygon. I was basically thinking they're probably just going to keep spamming Rock Slide, and that is going to take care of my Torkoal. So, dang. You know what? I actually messed up here. I should have actually also switched out my Torkoal into something else too in order to save the Drought. Yeah, I should have done that because I knew they were going to go for Rock Slide. Because again, T-Tars is usually what they do. I should have switched out Torkoal to go into Ursaluna. Yeah, because of its bulk and the ground typing, Ursaluna would have took the Rock Slide probably pretty well, and I would have been able to use Drought again later to get rid of their T-Tars Sand. So, this is how we learn, right? Footage is acting a little buggy. I hope it's just me. Alright, cool. Now I'm going to go back into my Incineroar. This will lower both their Pokemon's attack. Luckily, this is also going to this will be the second time. Well, no. Yeah, no. I forgot. They switched out their Tyranitar. Never mind. But I'm just going to go for the Earthquake to knock out both their Pokemon. And it does. Man, Ursaluna's a beast. So that took care of that. Alright. Next. And unfortunately, though, my Incineroar is going to get hit by the sand. Like I said, I should have saved Torkoal. And the Flame War is going to kick in. Makes sense. And now they're going to go into Escadrille. Luckily, their Escadrille is already super close to being knocked out. Now they're going to go into their Corviknight. Now, this is an interesting position. I'm not going to lie. From playing this, I'm thinking to myself, I should have picked Charizard instead. You'll see why. I remember this game. Yeah, I should have picked Charizard. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go into my Porygon. And, yeah, because I want to save Ursaluna for later. Yeah, alright, Porygon 2. Okay, I'm gonna go for the fake out, and I'll take care of the Escadrille. So they're down to one Pokemon, but unfortunately, my remaining Pokemon are really, really hurt. So Sandstorm's gonna finish off my Incineroar. Dang. If my Incineroar had lived this, maybe this could have turned out differently, but I don't know. And my Porygon's also gonna get hit. Oh man, this is what I meant by instead of Torkoal, I should have brought in Charizard because uh, even though I did mess up with Torkoal, it would have probably been better to have Charizard because that's gonna come up in a sec. So I'm just because the problem is Corviknight is flying and steel. Now, the steel typing is fine, but unfortunately, because of its flying type, Ursaluna's moves won't do anything. That's the problem I'm in. And Facade can only do so much, and it has a rocky helmet too. Okay, the Sandstorm's gone at least. But I'm still going to take damage from the Flame Orb. Yeah, this is the weird position I'm in right here. I'm like, oh man, I am literally stuck in a stalemate. It's just gonna use the Iron Defense. So when that happened, I knew right away this game's probably wrapped, honestly. So, but I don't really like to just cancel the game. So I decided, you know what, fucking, I'm just gonna stick with this. Maybe I'll get a crit. Who knows? Sometimes those random RNGs do happen, but we'll see. So they're gonna go for Roost. Oh man, yeah, it's cooked. Oh man. Yeah, like I said, I should have used Charizard instead of Torkoal because that way, if I did manage to set off the um, shit, why am I tongue tied? Um, the Trick Room. Oh yeah, if I did manage to set up the Trick Room, but it would have like basically been worn off by now. I could have had Charizard to come in and basically just finish off like Overheat. Ah, dang. Hey, this is how we learn, right? So, unfortunately, I'm going to take damage, and I'm pretty sure it's over right here. Yeah, it pretty much is. There's really nothing I could do. Yeah, body press, and yeah, GG. Good game of my opponent, though. Man, Corviknight's so cool looking. It's big, too. Like, have you ever seen the Pokemon anime shorts, like, with, during Galar and stuff like that? Corviknight's way bigger than I thought. So yeah, my opponent got that one, and now we're on to the next one. So it's 1 win, 1 loss so far. So they're gonna go with Weezing, Galar, Weezing, and yeah, yeah. I don't know what the hell happened here. I do not know what happened. I don't know if my opponent had to go do something. I'm not sure. So, like I did in the last time, though, I'm gonna show really here that it wasn't on my end. It was on my opponent's. Yeah. So usually I would say fuck it, we count those, but that didn't count, honestly. That didn't count. So I decided, you know what, fuck it, let's get some more battles. So here's the next one. Was that a gold Magikarp? Channel member Hector loves Magikarp. That's his favorite Pokemon. Like, one of his biggest things he's trying to do, if you're familiar with the channel, there's 4 of us here in the channel. Channel member Hector, he is obsessed with Magikarp, and he's trying to get every Magikarp card out there, all of them. Like, him and his girlfriend are constantly hunting down Magikarp cards. It's actually really cool. So they got Goldingo, Ribombee. I haven't seen Ribombee in a while, and I'm gonna go with Torkoal and Porygon. So they're gonna terrestrialize their Goldingo, and they're gonna go into Steel. Now, this is fine for me because basically I'm just gonna have my Torkoal protect and just set up the Trick Room because, to my knowledge, Goldingos, because I've used Goldingo before as well, usually don't run like taunt or stuff like that. So I pretty much got I know they usually just go for like the Make It Rain or the um, Nasty Plot setup. So I knew right away they were probably just going to go for either the offense or try to set up Nasty Plot. So I was like, you know what? I pretty much got a free chance to set up Trick Room. So, and their special attack will go down, which is good for me. So yeah, I managed to get the Trick Room set up. This is good now because what I'm going to do next, because Torkoal is at full health, I'm just going to go for the Eruption. It should easily take care of the Goldingo and the Ribombee, but I'm also going to go and terrestrialize my Porygon too. I'm using Poison Terrestrialization to deal with like Fairy Pokemon. So they're going to withdraw their Goldingo. Makes sense. And they're going to go into Poliwrath. Wasn't expecting that. Of all Pokemon, I was not expecting Poliwrath. That's really cool. So they're going to switch out into Pelipper. Makes sense. And the rain's going to be set up. So I'm still going to do what I said, obviously. But even though they switched out, at least, hey, it's a free hit, basically, is what I was thinking to myself. I'm like, that sucks, but like I said, free hit. So I'm going to go for the Eruption. It won't do a lot because of the rain, but it'll do chip damage to both of them. And I'm just going to go with the Terra Blast and the on the Pelipper because I want to get rid of the Pelipper quickly because I don't usually see Poliwrath that often, so I don't usually know what they run. I'm assuming they usually run like Drain Punch or stuff like that. But I wanted to get rid of the Pelipper to avoid any more rain shenanigans later on. Because that way I could because basically I'm just going to withdraw my Torkoal in order to use it later. But the problem was both my Pokemon are weak to water, is what I was thinking to myself. So I was trying to figure out which one could be like the one that would be the least detrimental to my chance to win if I switched out to them. But I was thinking, you know what? I'll protect first to see what happens. Because I was hoping my opponent maybe they'll switch out one of their Pokemon, or maybe I'll get a crit on the Pelipper. And they're going to go for Surf. I was not expecting Surf. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, so they go. So They use it so they can have their Poliwraths regain with water absorb. Okay, that's pretty cool. Hey, let me know in the comments, who do you prefer, Politoed or Poliwrath? I know Channel Member Michael really loves Politoed, so let me know in the comments. I'll probably go with that one. And I really liked Politoed's shiny. It's like blue, isn't it? Let me know in the comments, who do you prefer? Okay, so I'm thinking, you know what? I can go for the Helping Hand. That way, my Porygon 2 should definitely knock out the Pelipper. Yeah. And that did take care of it. Cool. So now the Poliwrath's going to go for Liquidation. I'm honestly surprised that didn't knock it out. I was expecting a knockout. Because I was thinking that's like a physical move, and the rain is set up. I thought that should easily take care of it. So, man, thank goodness Torkoal's a tank. So, like before, I'm in an interesting position where I could go for the offense, but I'm also thinking maybe I should just recover. But I was thinking, you know what? They're probably going to go for Make It Rain again. So I'm just going to switch out Torkoal now and just go into my Ursaluna. Because I was thinking, okay, if he knocks out my Ursaluna, that's not as bad as losing Charizard. Because at least with Charizard, because the Trick Room hasn't been set up yet. So my Charizard should be able to outspeed both of their Pokemon. So I was thinking, if I lose Ursaluna, it'll suck. But I'll still have Charizard in reserve. So it could work out still. Plus, I'll still have Torkoal. So basically, I was thinking I can maximize Charizard's fire moves with Torkoal's Sun. So that's why I was like, okay, maybe Ursaluna's alright to lose. Luckily, though, they didn't hit my Ursaluna, so I'm like, maybe I can get a free hit in. So I'm basically just going to switch out because the Pelipper is gone. So I don't got to worry about them getting rid of my Sun again. So I was thinking, you know what? I'll save Porygon 2, and I'll just go in the Torkoal right now. Let's see, yeah, and the sun lights up, and now water won't be nearly as bad. Now let's protect. Sorry, adjusting my seat. Let's see. So yeah, they're going to go for the Make It Rain. It'll knock out my Torkoal, but at least its special attack will go down. And now I can just, what my plan was, okay, I could just go into my Charizard because I was thinking like I said before, the Trick Room hasn't been set up. So my Charizard should hit before one of his Pokemon. Even if the Gholdengo somehow outsped my Charizard, it already used Make It Rain once, so there's an unlikely chance it would be able to knock out. So I was thinking, I'll just go for the Air Slash to get rid of the Poliwrath, and then just use Earthquake, because if they don't protect or anything, Earthquake will easily take care of the Gholdengo. And thanks to Charizard being flying, I don't have to worry about damage on my Pokemon, I mean. So yeah, Air Slash is going to go off. Let's see. Thunderbolt. Okay, that is going to do some damage. But I am going to get the Earthquake off, and that will easily take care of the Gholdengo. Alright. Okay, cool. That's 3 Pokemon down. 1 more to go. Wait, was it 3? No. I think they have 2 left, actually. Oh, yeah, it's 1 left. Rabombe, if I remember right. Because I forgot I already knocked out the Pelipper. Yeah, they sent out Rabombe. So I pretty much got this. Because I don't think Rabombe could... Even if it did, Rabombe had like some kind of crazy power. It could really only knock out one of my Pokemon. And a Facade or especially a Fire move from Charizard should easily take care of the Rabombe is what I was thinking myself. So they're going to go for Pollen Puff. And the Air Slash. Focus Sash, dang. Yeah. But it's pretty much GG right here. Yep, and the Facade. and that knocks it out. And my opponent, I guess, raged or something. Ah, man. But I got it right there. You saw that was the last Pokemon they had. I won that one, so I'm going to count that. So if you're keeping track, that's 2 wins, 1 loss so far. And a random one where my opponent just turned off Reddit, so I'm not going to count that though. So basically, let's see if I can get one more win. All right. So they're gonna go out with their King Gambit and Dragonite, and I'm gonna go with my Charizard and Torkoal. I was basically thinking to myself, you know what? If I can just set up the Sun right now, maybe I could just spam Heat Wave. But then I saw they went with their Dragonite, so I'm like, you know what? I'll just go with Dragon Balls, and I could probably go with Eruption because I was thinking to myself, if Dragon Pulse doesn't knock out the Dragonite, even though Dragonite resists fire, with the Sun out, Torkoal's investment in special attack, and the whole, how Eruption works, it should knock it out. Is basically what I was thinking to myself. So it's a crit right there. I don't think though this one is multi-scale. In single battles, usually Dragonites are multi-scale. So that way they could do the whole, set up Dragon Dance and all that. But usually in double battles, Dragonites usually run Inner Focus. So I'm not sure what this one's running. Okay, so the speed's going to go up, and that's fine, because Eruption, yep, like I said, took care of Dragonite. Sweet. And now I also don't got to worry about Sucker Punches from the King Gambit. So that's good for me. I actually really like King Gambit. During Regulation H, I really use King Gambit a lot, so I've developed like a soft spot for King Gambit. So I'm gonna go with Porygon 2, and my opponent's gonna go with an Amoonguss. Oh boy, this could be. Oh man, I hate freaking playing against Amoonguss. I'll admit I'm biased. I love using it myself, but I hate playing against it because this thing. When you look at Amoonguss' stats, you think, okay, it's pretty good. Like it doesn't have insane like defense or special defense or HP, but all three of those for Amoonguss are so balanced that it works out so perfectly. So I hate freaking playing against this thing, especially when it uses Spore. Oh my god, you're gonna see that come up by the way. So sorry if I get a little annoyed. I'm usually calm during gameplay, but when I'm done, like when the game is over, I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my freaking god, that was annoying." Anyone else do that? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. So they're gonna go for fake out my Torkoal. I mean that's fine because yeah, I fucked up right here because I honestly thought my opponent's Among Us is gonna go off first. I should have Trick Roomed right here. I should have done that first. That was a mistake on my part. So, unfortunately, now my Torkoal is asleep. And it would be worse, honestly, if I just switched out my Torkoal because either they'll hit it or they'll just Spore again. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'll just basically play the waiting game and just wait for Torkoal to wake up. Because I'm going to terrestrialize my Porygon 2. Now, even if my opponent was randomly running like a fighting, because Incineroars usually use knockoff, parting shot, fake out, and flare blitz. So I didn't have to worry about like some kind of random ground move or something like that. And Among Us, they usually run Spore, Pollen Puff, Rage Powder, and usually the last one you can go like Protect or something. Oh, and I lucked out right here. So because I already knew those sets, I was thinking, okay, I just terrestrialize and I don't got to worry about them really knocking out my Porygon, except for the Spore. But I was expecting the Spore. So I was thinking, you know what? Both my Pokemon can, withstand hits from both my opponent's Pokemon they have on the field. So I was thinking, you know what? I'll just play the long waiting game and wait for my Pokemon to wake up and then basically pick the moves that I want to use. That way when they wake up, it goes off and I can just go from there. Is basically what I was thinking. So patience was the main word for this game. So luckily my Torkoal woke up, so I'm just gonna go Protect because I picked Trick Room that way on my Porygon 2. That way, if it wakes up, Trick Room will just go off. Yeah, I knew they were gonna go into Spore. And I was okay with this because even if they made Torkoal, because here's the thing, I still had my Ursaluna on reserve. Two of their Pokemon have already been knocked out. Basically, I was thinking to myself, if my Ursaluna can, if I can bring that out later with Trick Room set up, I'll be golden because that will easily take care of the Incineroar, and it should also take care of the Among Us. So I was thinking, you know what? I'll just leave Torkoal in there, and if it gets spored again, that'll suck, but it's a lot better than the alternative. Yeah, I was expecting that. So now both my Pokemon are asleep again. But my Porygon 2 should hopefully be waking up soon. Like I said, thank goodness I know the sets for these two Pokemon that they're usually how they're usually ran because I knew all right I can play the waiting game because I don't have to worry about a super effective hit on my Porygon 2 basically. So I was thinking if Torkoal does randomly wake up, some chip damage might not be a bad idea on both of them. So let's go with the Eruption again. The sun's not out and Torkoal's already took damage, but hey, it's better than nothing. And like I said, one Earthquake from Ursaluna should easily knock them both out. So they're going to go for the Flare Blitz, and it doesn't knock out my Porygon. Cool. And they're going to take recoil damage. That's good for me. They're going to go for the Pollen Puff. Damn. Okay, cool. This is what I meant by playing the waiting game. Patience paid off. So my Porygon 2 woke up, and now the Trick Room is set up. And this is good because if I remember right, my Porygon 2 has no speed whatsoever. No EVs, no IVs, nothing in speed. So I should hopefully be slower. Because it's not like a fully evolved Pokemon, I was kind of thinking hopefully then my Porygon 2 is slower. That way it'll hit first. And Torkoal's asleep. I knew that. But no, dang it. I was thinking, no. I forgot just how slow Among Us can be. So, unfortunately, that didn't work out. But the Trick Room is set up. So that's good for me. And now my opponent's going to go for the Flare Blitz to knock out Porygon. Now, this is fine. I was actually hoping this is going to happen. One, now my opponent's Incineroar will take damage. It'll take some recoil damage. But now I'm free to put in my Ursaluna. Because the Trick Room is set up, and Ursaluna luckily are slow as hell, so it should hit first. Is basically what I was thinking to myself. So I was thinking I just go for the Earthquake, and it should knock out all my opponent's Pokemon. But I also thought, you know what? Trick Room has only been up for one turn so far. I got some time to wait. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to protect first to see what my opponent's going to do. Because I really, really was afraid of the Spore. Because if they spored my Ursaluna, that's GG right there. I pretty much can't do anything after that. So yeah, I'm gonna protect right now, and I'm hoping Torkoal will wake up and it'll do some damage. And it does wake up. So I'm gonna go for the Earth Power on the Among Us. Because I was thinking to myself, okay, if that maybe I should run Overheat on instead of Helping Hand. I was thinking I could go with either one, but I was thinking I'd rather have Helping Hand just in case something happens, like the earlier game with Porygon, but that usually almost doesn't happen. Maybe I should switch out for Overheat or something, or Weather Ball. But uh, that's a different discussion. So they're gonna knock off Torkoal's Charcoal, which is fine. And now my Ursaluna, I'm thinking to myself, should I go? I gotta go for the offense now. So I'm gonna have my Torkoal protect because it's awake. This way, I don't have to worry about it getting spored. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. Okay. It's basically a matter of who hits first. Because if Earthquake can go off, it has my Ursaluna hasn't gotten intimidated. Flame Orb is set up so it thinks of its guts. Its attack is maxed out. Plus Earthquake and Stab, it should easily knock out the Incineroar. It's the Among Us I wasn't sure now whether it could. So they're going to Terastallize. Let's see. Yeah. They're going to go into Terastallize Water. Interesting. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna protect on my Torkoal right here. So I'm gonna go for Spore, and it failed. All right, that thing hit so many freaking times. My turn. All right, cool. So luckily, Earthquake is gonna go off, and yeah, like I said, it easily knocks out the Incineroar. Nice. And I still have both my Ursaluna and Torkoal. So like I said before, I pretty much got it right here because even if they did Spore one of my Pokemon, it's okay. The other one will just take care of it. So I'm just gonna go for Earth Power and just go with the Facade. I mean, yep, and the battle's canceled. I got it. GG. Oh man, that was nerve wracking. I was actually nervous at the end of that. So that's it for Regulation Set 8. This is going to be the last one I'm going to upload during this format. So the next one will be should be I'm not even sure what team. I'll probably just go with the stand. Yeah, I kind of want to do a video talking about what I think could be like the best Pokemon going into VGC the next set online. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. I kind of want to do that. I'm probably gonna. So let me know in the comments what you thought of this video, what you thought of this team. Who is your favorite team to use during this format? Like I said, I really enjoyed this one. So, but I'd love to hear your guys's. So let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good week. Take care. Bye.